Hey guys, it's FifaRalle here and welcome to episode 3 of the Ultimate Team Career Mode, and we got a bunch of stuff happening in this game. We start off with a friendly against the Monsters, which is Nepenthe squad, and then we'll get into the division, play one game there, and then finish it all off with a game, with a match with our reserve squad playing in a tournament. So that is kind of that, but before we do any of that, we will send out our scout into the world to see if we can pick up some talents. And I did ask you in the last episode where in the world I should send him, and a lot of people said South America and especially Brazil. I believe there was over 100 comments suggesting Brazil, so we are sending our scout out there and we're looking for a technically gifted player because we would like to get someone skillful into our youth squad, see if we can pick anyone up. And while he's out scouting, we will go out and play our final friendly game, but I decided to change the squad around a little bit and get Christian Eriksen in instead of Gylfi Sigurdsson, and get Tobias Sana into the squad as well, because they did play well when they got substituted on in the last game against Kasui FC. So I thought I might as well give them a go in this final preseason friendly, to see if they would do well. And we go, as I said, up against the Nepenthe's team, and he plays with a 3-5-2 squad here, a very solid, and one of the squads you'd build if you like just to win your games. Great pace, strength, and all the stats you kind of need on the right positions. So a very solid squad we come up against there, with a few skillers in it as well, in Asa, Edie, and Terapt. So yeah, we get the game started here in the 10th minute. Ibrahimovic finding an open Tobias Sana here out in the wing. We make our way into the box, a little ball roll drag back, but we do not get the shot on target, and instead it's him trying out Lineker from distance, but it is saved. And we continue on creating chances. Here it's Ibrahimovic on the ball. He will find a completely open Olsen there on the left wing, and we'll counter backwards and cross it in to find an open Eriksen, a little sideways volley there, but it is saved. And yeah, it was pretty much an end-to-end game with chances going back and forth, and we go into the second half. Ibrahimovic once again on the ball and unlucky not to get that into the back of the net. It could have been a pretty nice goal, but he'll get on the ball again here, and look at this little lovely skill run to make his way into the box here, going past two defenders, and in the end he will get me the goal to make it 1-0. But pretty much straight after that, Robin, Ribery, and Dani Alves got onto the pitch, and he did a few skill moves here in Nepenthe. I kept a little bit of distance, and I shouldn't have done that because Lineker is not the best keeper on the game, and two shots here from distance going in, and Lineker not saving them whatsoever. A nice free kick, however, I did jump with the wall, but it went over it and I couldn't save it. So I was trailing 2-1, and of course I tried to get a goal back to at least get an equalizer. And it's Ibrahimovic on the ball here, making his way into the box, but the angle is way too narrow and he will save it. So we get our first loss there in the preseason friendlies, and it was a game where I had a difficult time hitting the target. I had a few shots from distance, and it was a little bit of an end-to-end game, I felt. So we do end up losing the game, and the board had of course hoped for a better result, a draw or a win at least, but nonetheless they're happy with overall the preseason friendlies we played, and they decided to give me 50,000 coins to my transfer budget, and we'll probably be able to use some of them once we reach kind of the winter transfer window, and maybe pick up a few more skillful players for our main squad. But then it was time to kind of play our first division game, and we go into the first game and come up against a pretty much full La Liga side, apart from a Torres there on the striker spot, but still a very solid squad there, all round good players. And we will get the game started pretty early on. It's actually in the first minute, Ibrahimovic stepping up for the free kick, but a relatively easy save from his keeper, and from the corner there we get a bicycle kick in, but once again quite easy saved. But then in the 9th minute, Ibrahimovic on the ball, going past two defenders, and he will take on a third there with the fake shot, and he makes it a 1-0 in the 10th minute. A nice little dribble goal there from Ibrahimovic, and yeah, he was pretty much everywhere in this game, creating a lot of chances. Here he passes it out to Tobias Sana out in the wing, and we go past the defender, make our way into the box, and we pick up a penalty, and Ibrahimovic, he will step up for that himself, and he will convert it to make it 2-0. So we have a comfortable lead, and we go into the second half. It's Torres on the ball here, and look at that clearance. It falls straight to Fabregas, but lucky enough we will clear it away. But not the best defensive action there, and maybe we'll have to replace Olsen there on the left back in the future. But nonetheless, we break through here, some nice team play from the squad, and in the end, who else than Zlatan to get through and get the third goal, complete his hat-trick, and we win the game 3-0. And it was a game where I had a few more shots and a bit more possession than my opponent, and he did actually decide to rage quit in the 79th minute. So we get our first 3 points in the division, and yeah, Zlatan on form there, performing very, very well in the game. And if he keeps on the form, he might like his stats might improve. We can maybe apply a attribute card or something like that to show that he's on form and playing well, if he keeps on playing as well as he did in this game. And because of our great performance, we get manager reputation and club reputation, and it goes up by 100 to each of those. And then we're ready to play the reserve squad tournament, and there's 5 games to play all the way up until the final if we actually manage to win all the game. It is knockout stages, so maybe we'll end up losing and get knocked out of the tournament early on. But still, we will try and do our best, and we can still pick up some manager reputation and club reputation if we win the games, but not as much as if we win division games, because they are the more more advanced games, or the games with the better players, and what gains the club and the manager the real reputation. But nonetheless, we go into the game and we come up against a very, very strong squad here. We come up against a Serie A side with team of the season, Campagnaro, and 4 informs, and just a very, very solid Serie A side there. But it is me getting the game started quite early on, which you'll see here in just a second. We kick off and we find a Ring here out on the right mid, and he does only have 2-star skill moves, but you can still go quite far with the fake shot and the ball roll drag backs. And here we go past the defender, cross it in, we get a header in, or we try to, and we pick up the rebound, and it's Gant to pick it up there and make it 1-0. But he will get back with Di Natale a few minutes later. I couldn't catch up with him, and it's all even once again. But we find Ring out on the wing again. We'll cross it in, try out a header, but this time around it is saved. And Gant, he played really well in this game here. Look at those lovely flicks past 3 defenders. We try out the shot, and in the end we actually pick up a penalty. I didn't think it was a penalty, but nonetheless, we'll take it. And who else than Gant to step up for that? And you'll see if he can get his second goal in the game. But it is saved by his keeper, and it goes out for a corner. But straight from that, we will actually manage to find Gant, and he leaps up and heads it in to make up for the miss on the from the penalty spot. And we lead 2-1 at half time, and he only had 1 shot, so I was dominating quite heavily at half time. And we continue on creating chances into the second half. Here it's Jenkinson on the ball, a few skill moves, and we try out the near post finish. We pick up a corner, and we use one of our set pieces, find a completely open Eriksson. We try out the shot, and it goes out for another corner, and this time around it is Moisander picking it up to make it a 3-1, and that is pretty much how the game ends, because after that he decided to rage quit. And as I said, it was a game I dominated quite heavily. And yeah, we move on through into the round of 16 of the tournament. And again, the squad is quite happy about the performance, especially from Gant. And they suggest I might use him in the main squad instead of Gudetti if he keeps on performing well. So we'll see how that will develop in the future episodes. And this will pretty much be the end of this episode, guys. I hope you did enjoy it, and I will try and have another one out during this week. And that's all. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you later.